Peace and blessings. This is Raisa Kiwala, the divorced Muslim coach. This being the month of the Quran and us turning to it for solace. The verse that we're going to be looking at, all of the verses in the Quran, is the one from chapter 13, verse 28, which is verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. So today's verse is coming from chapter 3, verse 175. It says, "It is none but Satan who frightens you of his friends. So do not fear them, but fear me, if you are believers." And when I read that, it really hit me in that's it right there. This really tells us how to approach fear and what it really is, right? First, Allah is telling us fear comes from shaitan, okay? So these are the whispers of shaitan. So if you're having fearful, insecure thoughts, they're coming from the whispers of shaitan. And it's not coming from a place of the truth, right? Because the truth only lies with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He's the one who has control over all things. So if you're searching for truth, which every soul is wired, it's part of our DNA, or it's part of our fitra, that we come here with, that Allah created us with, to connect to the truth, right? And fitra really is our natural tendency of goodness and of being in alignment of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So remember, thoughts of fear, scarcity, lack, hoarding, jealousy, right? That there can't be enough for all of us. And, you know, in terms of provision, all of that, it comes from shaitan planting those whispers within you. Whereas hope, possibility, potential, abundance, they all come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And, you know, being attached to that source at all times, and that's why we go back to that verse, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest, where is that your rest state or your peace state, where you know, like, you're secure, instead of being fearful and insecure, and you're thinking you're in this state of security because you're attached to that source. So, you know, we can attach to that source with gratitude and remembrance of Allah in all of our actions. So the question here really is, who are you fearing? And then you say that you believe, and you're being tested on that. Each one of us, like, when we say that, when we declare that, you know, in our heart, in our words, we are going to be tested on that. And we know that Allah tells us that in the Quran as well. And so we're going to be tested on that. So get clear in terms of your thinking and in your actions. Look at those and your thoughts and your actions. It will tell you the answers to those questions, right? So build your own internal awareness of your thoughts when they're starting to gravitate towards fears. Can you notice it, right? Can you remember in that moment before it snowballs into anxiety or panic, right? And you know, that's a process and a journey. It's not like you could turn it on and turn it off. And sometimes when you're in those modes of panic and anxiety, just breathing, right? Getting yourself centered and grounded with taking deep breaths and getting into the present moment is really helpful. So it allows you to slow down your mind enough to become aware of your thoughts. And, you know, as I started with that verse, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest, sometimes even though, you know, we are remembering Allah, we're still not able to have that, you know, peace. We're still not able to grasp that. And there's a part of the puzzle that I haven't shared with you yet, and that is how we understand our experience of life. Right? And understanding that our feelings or our emotions can get in the way of that strong connection, and kind of weaken that connection. So I want you to just think about that. And if you found this helpful, share and subscribe on my YouTube channel, Raisa Kiwala, to get more of these videos as they come out this Ramadan.